Today we're being joined by Poppy Tindal, who is a part of the Brisbane Lions AFLW Academy and was a part of the Queensland State Championships throughout the last month or so. Poppy, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, so tell us a bit about yourself, Poppy. What kind of got you into footy and what type of player you are?
My dad got me into footy actually. I started playing when I was in grade 3 or 4 at school. They had a school team
Mm.
and one of his mates he used to play with at footy, asked if I wanted to join in and play and started playing there and started playing for Noosa Tigers. And then
Right.
I used to play in the midfield a lot, but I
Mm.
changed over into the half back line over the last few
Okay,
years, which is sort of my position now and I really like that.
that's good. So obviously you've been a part of the state championships, which we're talking about now, through the for 3 games. How was that overall experience for you, being playing alongside some of the best, but then against the best as well?
That was it was a really good experience. It was really good to play against some of those girls that, I've played against some of them in the Lions season, but
Mm.
it was really good to be in a team with the Gold Coast girls and playing
Mm.
against the, best around Australia. It was a really good experience.
That's right. How beneficial was it to playing with some of the girls that you kind of been a part with in the Lions Academy as well? And as you mentioned, some of the ones you've been competing against to the Suns Academy, and kind of learn how they play as well, more closely than what you would from being in a different academy.
Yeah, like being with the Lions girls was really good because, we had some of those connections already, so it was easy going into it. But
Mm.
definitely with the Gold Coast girls, like we knew how some of them played, but it was really good like learning how everyone played individually and how to, like play with new team members over a short period of
Mm.
time was really,
That's
really
right.
good.
That's right. And then obviously then against Vic Country, the Allies and WA, obviously two of the Allies, they're a bit different, but the other two sides, two very, very strong sides. What was it like competing against some of the best from the other teams when you're representing Queensland? Like, you have WA, you got so many gun mids and forwards, etc. And obviously Lily Patterson, Zippy Fish, Malia Hare. There's so many names you could list off, Noah McNaughton. And then for Vic Country, you got this year's potential #1 draft pick, Ash Centra, Sarah Howley. There's so many good names, and how beneficial is it to play against them as well?
Yeah, it was, it was tougher going into it. Like, who like is supposed to be the big players and, who you're going to
Mm-hmm.
match up and watch out for. So it was really good, just to like watch out for them and play against them and learn how to play against different type of players, especially like a lot of those girls, they all play similar, but they're very different. So
Mm.
it was a really good learning experience, especially in the back line, like watching how they enter the ball or how like
Mm.
forwards taking marks. And it's just really good learning how like different people play, especially those big names and big players. It's good just to like
Mm.
learn how to not just not panic about, oh, these are big names and
Mm.
just to focus on just playing against them as any other person really.
That's right. And obviously, how did you feel as you assess your own game, 3 games, Poppy? Obviously, you built into it and done really well, in particular in the last few games. How did you overall assess how you went?
I feel like it was tough. Like it was
Mm.
hard in the back line a lot, especially in the country game. Like we
Mm.
were hit pretty hard, pretty quick. And then in the Allies game, it was just we were like bombarded a lot. So it was, it was difficult to play attackingly until sort of the last of the WA game and a bit of the
Mm.
country game. But it was really good just to, we had heaps of the ball down there, which is not necessarily a good thing, but it
Mm.
was good to, get a lot of the ball and work it out and stuff like that. So it was good.
That's good. Do you recall on any of the people that you had to match up on in those 3 games, and how of a challenge it was for you then?
We weren't really matched up against many people in particular. I
Hmm.
was told in the WA game that, if there was any quick girls around the pack that I would be put on them just to make sure
Yeah.
that they wouldn't have quick ones around the pack getting snapping goals like they were doing in the Allies.
Mm.
So that was, good to have a role, but didn't necessarily happen too much. But that was sort of
Yeah.
the really only instance we were specifically matched up against someone.
That's fair. How did you first get told too you're going to be in that state championships team, and how did you react to it?
Um, I was at school. I was actually in my study line, so it was good that I sort of had a little bit of a free period. But I knew the team was getting sent out that day, so I was just on my emails like all day, and I'm really lucky because my mum works at the school, and so I basically I was in her office for a little bit of the study line, and then I went back up to do some work, and then basically as soon as I got back to my laptop, the email was sent. And I basically just ditched my classroom and ran back down. So it was really good. It was really good. So I got to do it with my mum, which is really good. So yeah, I was really happy when I found out.
That's good. And what do you take out of playing these 3 games? Obviously, being in draft year as well, Poppy. So what do you take out of that championship, and what are you trying to build from now until the end of the year?
I guess taking out of it, it's obviously a lot higher standard than I've played in Quaffle and even in the Lions Academy, but definitely playing at the highest standard and what we're going to come up against is definitely a good thing that I've taken out of it. Just knowing how different girls play across the country, really, and seeing how hard it'll be to see the talent in especially my draft year, getting to see how Ash and all of those people play. It was really good to learn.
That's good. Obviously, being in that Queensland side, if you could name some of the players that you've played alongside in this state championship side for Queensland in particular, who are some names that you feel like will be the top names that'll be mentioned again in a few months' time at the end of the year in this Queensland side?
In the Queensland side, definitely Hav will continue to be named a lot. She is a great player, deserves it. In the coming years, would definitely be Georgia and Dakota, there and Alana. Those big names are coming up. But especially this year, Hav and Mia, Kaya Hides will be up there a lot, I think, after her Queensland season. And Lily Baker, I reckon a lot of those girls will keep popping back up.
That's good. How has the Brisbane Lions Academy been for you, and how did you find out that as well at the time when you were through the Lions Academy?
The Lions Academy has been great. I've been in the academy for quite a while now, which is really good. But the level 3 is definitely another huge step up than level 2 and level 1 has been for over the years. But the Lions Academy has been great to be in. It's it's a long program, but it's really good. It's really beneficial, especially with the facilities that we have at BHA Brighton Homes. That's just been amazing this year. Just being at Springfield all the time has been really good.
I was just going to ask that, being at an academy that has, that AFLW Alliance and it facility, as you said, you've been far better than some random local oval that has no grandstands or stuff like that. So how's that been there? And how beneficial too has it been linked to the club or the Lions and having, I'm sure some of the girls or guys have floated through either through coaching, coming to a training session in game, give advice, or however they've done it. How has that been as well, if so?
We were really lucky. We had obviously Emma Zilke was our Lions coach, but we had Belle Dawes, Nat Ryder, Shannon Campbell. They were our line coaches and strength and conditioning coaches, and having them coaching us through the gym, coaching us through conditioning in our line groups, having that was just it was amazing. Just to they were just putting a real life perspective on it. They know what was happening and they know how the program works, and having that as a resource to just ask for help, ask for feedback, and getting taught, getting skills development. It's been amazing to have that.
Do you get any pinch me moments when those girls are at that level right now that are helping out, or is it just business as usual, or is there times where you think back at, gee, that's so and so?
Yeah, sometimes we're kind of in a way we're used to Zilks and Shan, Bell and Nat because we've had them for a few years. So, but at the same time, you look at it and you're we're actually so lucky to have them. But also when Dakota has come in a couple times just to help coach, and a couple of other girls have dropped in to do our jersey presentations, and that's been amazing to meet them and hear their stories. And we had a talk from Bree Conan and Taylor Smith and all of that. Just was really good just to see their stories and how they went through and how they managed the academy and stuff. So we've been really lucky with that.
That's good. Have you always grown up barracking for the Lions?
No, unfortunately, I was a Hawthorn supporter. I still am with my dad. My dad was, a Hawthorn supporter, so I've always supported them. But definitely with the AFLW, I've always been with Brisbane with AFLW. But the men's, I've been with Hawthorn.
That's fair. Well, you must be proud then how the Hawks are going, especially yesterday. Jesus Christ.
Oh, wow, yeah, it was a good game.
80 odd points, something like that. And now in the finals at the moment, in the top 8, I should say, percentage in now. How are you feeling heading into the last 2 games with the fantastic run they've been on, only having one loss a week or so ago? You must be pretty happy with that. Can't get much better than that.
Yeah, it's good. I'm just hoping they can hang on into the finals. I mean, they've got like Richmond and North left, so
Yes, you would think so.
hoping we can hang on to that. So
Mm.
yeah, it'll be really good to watch. It's nice watching
Mm.
their rebuilding seems to finally nearly be over.
Yeah. How were you feeling when it was 0-5? It's just so amazing to see any side be 0-5, right? And then, play like that, and then think, nah, they're going to be wooden spoons or they're going to be around that mark. And then let's fast forward 10 weeks later, you're winning all these games in a row going, oh, gee, you left it too late. They haven't left it too late. They're now in it with 2 weeks to go.
Yeah, the first 5 games, I was like, "Oh, it's another year." I mean, I thought we were getting better at the end of last year, but all of a sudden we got like 5 in a row, and then we had just lost one, and then it was just really good to watch, just watching them just turn around and seeing what they could still do and just prove to each other that, they can still win, which has been really amazing to watch, actually.
That's right. Throughout all your games that you've ever played, I know you mentioned there before at the state championships not playing on a specific play, but overall in your whole footy journey, is there any particular players or clubs that you feel is the toughest opponent you've had to match up on?
Oh, wow. Probably through the quaffle, the hardest team that I've had to verse is probably South. Oh, I haven't never versed Southport, but probably Bond Uni. That was a really,
Mm-hmm.
really tough game to play. Just they were like a lot better skills than us, and their game plan was a lot more set out than we have been. But with the academies and the Queensland side,
Mm-hmm.
Vic Country was really difficult to play against. Like we obviously had a really bad start, and just coming back against that was pretty difficult. But yeah, it was. Yeah, it's been pretty good.
That's good. All right. Now, nicknames. What nicknames do you get, Poppy, that you like or dislike at the club or anywhere in general? Is there any that you're happy with or ones that people try and give you that you're not a fan of?
I don't really have many. I sort of just get Pop, which I like. It's just short and simple.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, there are not many. I don't really get too many. I feel like my name's kind of hard to shorten or change. So I think Pop is the one I usually get, and just some random other ones at school that just don't really stick. But
Yeah.
yeah, Pop's the main one I get.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, like you said, nice and basic. Sometimes that's what I say. The best way to go about it sometimes is you don't want these overly complicated ones or these inside joke ones that no one will understand unless you're not involved in the people that are,
Yeah.
given the names. So nice and basic. That's the way to go. That's really simple and some things that are very, very easy. All right. So now this is very funny. If you could name a teammate that would Google themselves or look their stats up or anything like that, or their highlights reels, who would be the one to go and do that, or group of to go and do that?
I feel like Mia Gear. I've seen her do it a couple of times actually. It's pretty funny to watch, but yeah, she definitely does it, and I feel like she definitely would find her highlights reel somewhere.
Busted. But again, that's a good thing. Now, this may feature here, and someone else may do so. Who loves the limelight, the attention, the camera at either the Queensland sides or any of the Lions Academy, anyone you've been a part with? Who is that person, or who is those group of people?
Um, oh, I feel like Mia does like a highlight reel, but
Mm-hmm.
Miss Salisbury, through the Lions and
Mm-hmm.
Ava Usher, they definitely like a little bit of the spotlight, which is it's really funny though, so it's really good.
No, that's why I always say, I mean, it's not always a bad thing either. So now, while we're on the topic of teammates, who do you feel is some teammates you're impressed with? They kind of fly under the radar a little bit and don't get talked about as much as you feel they should.
I think in the back line, definitely Faz Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
She, is really, really strong back there. She's directed us all through the Lions and all through the Queensland seasons.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. She kind of flies under the radar a little bit, but Kai Hides has definitely come up a lot more this year as well, which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
But even Annabelle Foat. She
Yep.
has come into the backline in WA game, never played, but played so well. It was really good to watch.
Good. I had Fody on the other day. She done really well herself in the championship, like yourself. Now, in terms of the best chatterbox of the club, who would you say that would be?
In Queensland?
Yeah, either team. Yeah.
Oh, Mia Salisbury. I feel like she likes to have a chat with everyone. I
So
think.
loudest and quietest teammates.
Quietest is I don't really get much from Alana sometimes. Alana Welsh, don't really hear
Yep.
much from her.
Mhm.
Loudest, it kind of varies really. It
Mm.
can be me Salisbury sometimes. It can be me Gear sometimes. Kaya, Zim, probably talk a lot.
Yeah. Floats between a fair few people. That's
Yeah, it
again.
sort of varies.
Yeah, it varies. That's right. It depends what's going on, I guess. All right. Now, also on top of that, you're stuck on a deserted island, probably with teammates. Who are you bringing and not bringing, and why?
I definitely bring Faz and Lily.
Mhm.
I feel like because we get along well, I feel like we, have fun while actually trying to figure out how to get off.
Mm.
And in terms of who I wouldn't bring, I don't really know. I probably just wouldn't bring people that I'm not really like as close with.
Yeah, I
So
get you.
like, yeah.
That's right. No specific people, but a particular type. That's fair enough. All right. So, for the accomplishments, obviously so far you've achieved being in the state championships, being representing the Lions Academy. What has been some footy individual successes you've had, or premierships throughout your footy time? It can be local, it can be junior. It doesn't matter what level. What's some accomplishments or premierships you've had throughout your time?
Um, I had quite a few premierships when I was playing for Noosa in my junior years. That
Yep.
was really good. And then I also had another one when the first year I moved to Maroochydore. That
Mm-hmm.
was that was a really, really good experience, those ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably I managed to make a team at my school. My school's like a pretty new school and didn't really have like much, you know, sporting sort of teams in.
Yeah.
So I managed to make a team for one of the local school competitions, and that
Mm-hmm.
was really kind of rewarding to watch that
Mm.
finally happen.
Yeah, no, that's good. And like I say to everyone, right, with the premierships that you mentioned, junior level, Maroochydore, etc., it doesn't matter what level it is. It's a premiership's a premiership, I say.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what age group or what division, and none of that. All right. Overall, from football, personally, probably, what would you say some of your biggest strengths as a footballer? Obviously, you mentioned playing off halfback. So, what would you say is your biggest strength?
My biggest strengths, I would usually say I don't like winning. I don't like losing a 1v1, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I like to beat my opponent, and then I like to say I can run up the ground with the ball, and
Mm-hmm.
I can kick fairly far sometimes. So it's good to, get a run off the halfback and get it in
Mm-hmm.
down to the forwards or the mids, and that's sort of one of my strengths, I would definitely say.
That's good. Obviously, too, with running, what would you say is your maximum distance kick or your average distance kick?
Um, oh, I'm not really sure actually. I haven't kicked it like to measure it in a long time, but
Yeah,
I can probably kick over 40
nice.
sometimes, but average kick's probably around 35 meters, probably.
That's all right. There's not many people that in the position that you're in that are consistently kicking around that 40 meters mark. So it's a more of a dangerous weapon, I feel, in women's footy than men's as well. And it's something that, as I said, not many players have that luxury. So it's a good thing on your part to have something that not everyone has.
Yeah, it's pretty good to have sometimes, especially, I used to kick out for the Lions, so that was
Yeah,
always good to have. But when we're under the pump, just to be able to get it out was definitely good to
that's
have.
right. Sure, it definitely is. Leadership, is that something probably you've ever been a part of or something that you ever want to get into at any point?
Um, I used to be, a captain at junior level, but over
Mm-hmm.
the last few years, I've sort of just hasn't really been my sort of thing in the
Yeah.
Lions, and definitely not Queensland and all of that. But
Yeah.
it's a good skill to have. Like, I'm not against doing it, but I just haven't sort of thought it was right for me, really.
That's fair enough. Sometimes it can be a bit of a extra layer, added pressure, I suppose, to especially in your biggest year of your life in football. At least it's something that you don't want as an added distraction. I suppose it's, as you said, it's a good thing, but it's not the worst thing to have. And really, you don't need the title of a captain or vice captain or in the leadership group to be able to have a say in anything like that, in a game or in play and anything like that.
Yeah, definitely not.
All right. So, all right. Most prized possessions that you own.
That I own, probably my car is definitely at this point the prized possession. Like, I would die without my car. I don't really know. I have a few horses, so pets wise, they're very good. But other than that, I don't really have many, I would really say.
That's fair enough. Has there been any particular advice, Poppy, that you've been given to take on board this year in the year that you're in now in your draft year?
Yeah, something my mum says to me all the time is just to go out and play footy and just, tries to forget about all the added pressure that, I'm subconsciously putting myself through. Like, just forget it's my draft year and just forget that, it's a big game that we have to play, and just go out and play my best footy. So that's always sort of a thing I've stuck in thinking.
That's right. And that's really good advice that you mentioned, that your mum mentioned, because, some people, think, not saying you do, but some people think, oh, if I don't get it this year, that's it, it's all over. Well, you can get in at any point. You don't have to be 18 and it's like there's an expiry date, it's like if you don't get it, you don't get it. You see players get picked up, whether it's through a draft or injury replacements. Some of those players are 29 years of age, and there's a prime example, Elise Sheeran from Richmond. She's 31 now. She was selected 2 years ago at 29, and now she's a two-time All-Australian. So it just shows that it obviously doesn't want to wait that long, but it just shows it can happen.
Yeah, it's good to have a supplementary draft, and even going into the draft, like, you can still get picked up all the time.
Yeah.
So definitely not having to stress too much about the draft it's not the end of the world sort of thing.
That's right. Yeah, it's not, especially, that's right, with all the other avenues away getting picked up with replacement players, etc., train-ons even as well, and things like that. All right, if you were to use an AFL or AFLW player comparison, probably to the type of style of player that you play like, who would you say that would be?
I'd sort of like to say someone like Nat Grata. Like, obviously she's been one of my coaches for ages, but her desperation in defense, like run down tackles and beating her 1v1s while still finding avenues to attack and get up the field, and that sort of thing is something I always want to play like. So I think Nat Grata.
That's good. Who would you say some of your favourite teammates at the club?
In Queensland, I really like playing with Faz. Like, I like her game style, and I like the way she takes her opportunities even while she's being a fullback. I also really like watching Georgia Davies play. Like, she always takes her opportunities and is always desperate. She never wants to lose, which I really admire.
And overall, though, in the Queensland side, Poppy, obviously, as you would know, there's a lot of players, as you mentioned, if you listed probably about 5 of them or so already, that aren't in their draft year this year, that are representing the state right now. It just kind of shows, the future of the Queensland talent levels in the women's elite is very strong, to have the confidence of those girls playing right now when it's not their draft year at 18s level as well.
Yeah, it's really good to see. Queensland's definitely risen up over the last few years. We've got all these younger players playing this year, and not even in their draft year, and they're already annihilating it. They're getting picked for all the games, and it's going to show we beat Vic Country and Western Australia this year. Which is a huge thing to do. We beat 2 of the big ones, so that was it's really good to see, and I'm sure next year they'll probably do more than we did this year, which is...
That's right, that's what I mean. That just shows how strong, it'll truly be. And as you mentioned, WA, to be honest, before these championships even started, I would have thought that along with Queensland, that WA and Vic Country were the 2 teams to beat as well, and you beat them both.
Yeah, it's been really good to see how good Queensland can become and how good the girls program has gotten.
That's right. Now, any outside of footy interest that you have? You mentioned before about horse riding. Is that something that you like outside of footy?
Oh, I used to be into it a lot more than I am now.
Yeah.
I sort of ran out of time with footy to
Yeah.
pursue it as much, but yeah, I do surf lifesaving, so I'm
Okay.
on the beach quite a lot. So
Mhm.
don't really compete in it anymore either. But it's it's
Okay.
always nice to patrol a lot. So it's always
Yeah.
nice to do all that as well.
It's fair enough. Would you say you're a pro surfer?
Look, I would like to be a lot better than I am, especially
Mhm.
considering I live on the Sunshine Coast. But yeah, I'm alright. I'm not the worst, but I'm not the best.
Okay, that's
I'm not
good.
pro. Definitely nowhere near pro.
That's fair enough. I mean, every time someone's mentioned being a surfer, Poppy, in some way, shape, or form, I'm always trying to get out of them for someone to call themselves a pro surfer. I don't think I've got anyone to say that yet. I'm waiting. I thought you were close, Dan, the way you started. Then I'm trying to get someone to say, yeah, they are a pro. There's no one wants to admit it.
Yeah,
But fair enough.
yeah.
I tried.
I mean,
All
yeah.
right.
If you asked me a few years ago, it could have been different, but definitely not
Um,
now.
Fair enough. As you said, it's dropped down a little bit, as you said, so that's fair enough. All right. Where was I? Oh yeah, mark of goal of the year. Which one would you rather do and why?
Um. Oh, I'd like to do mark of the year. I feel like,
Hmm.
well, actually, I don't know. Maybe goal of the year. I feel like running off the half back and getting in and getting a goal. I feel like that would be pretty cool.
Mm,
Getting that. I also feel like, yeah, it'd be pretty sick. It'd be pretty sick to get either, but I feel like goal of the
yeah.
year, especially being where I play, like in the back line playing there, I feel like that'd be really cool to getting that.
Mm. Would you be? It's funny. This kind of goes back to a question I said off the top, where you mentioned Mia talking about watching her own highlights. Would you share the clip of you doing the mark of goal of the year contender if you were to nail one?
Oh, I'd probably show a few people. Oh, like I'd show like some of my closest friends and stuff, but
Mhm.
I wouldn't really be showing everyone the whole world, probably.
Okay, fair enough. Would you give someone the nudge to go, come on, someone post it for me so I could potentially reshare it? Like, is it more that you don't want to be the first one to share it? Because I mean, to be fair,
Oh,
it doesn't happen every week for anyone.
I mean, yeah, if someone else posted, I'd probably repost it, but I wouldn't
Hmm.
really go out and ask someone to. Like, I don't know
Okay.
if it was for the AFLW and they put it on there, like, they posted, I'd probably re-put it on my story or something like that. But
Yeah,
no,
no,
I probably wouldn't go out of my
that's fair.
way to.
Fair enough. Now, if you could describe the best goal you would love to ever get, adding the distance, the angle, the moment, the occasion, what goal would it be? Would have mentioned, you just briefly mentioned there about a running half back one.
Yeah, I feel like if I got an intercept off the half back and sort of ran up the ground and took on a few people and just kicked a long bomb in or something like that, that'd be pretty sick.
Mm.
Like,
You
couldn't
men-
really do much tricky stuff, so that'd
no,
probably
fair
be
enough.
me more it.
You mentioned before about, used to playing in the midfield. So what would you say is the best goal you've ever gotten at any level at any point in time? It doesn't even have to really be in an official game.
Um, oh, I remember one year, it was one of my first few games playing for under-17s at Maroochydore. I
Hmm.
think, like, our ruck wasn't we didn't have our proper ruck, so I was just sort of roving off their ruck. And I sort
Yeah.
of just read it a lot better and sort of just got it straight from the ruck tap and took a bounce and kicked it pretty far out. So
Mm.
that was probably the best one I can remember.
That's good. Nothing better than roving. It was off the opposition ruckman, you said, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Nothing sweeter than roving off a opposition ruckman, and then they think they're gonna gloat. They got the nice tap and go, "Oh, thanks for that," and then goal.
Yeah. Yeah, it was I remember it was pretty good. It was a nice feeling to have.
That's right. Now, crowd hecklers. You know, there's always someone behind a fence throwing their advice. Whether they're in on it with people you know or who are playing, or they're just completely random. Is there any hecklers you've ever copped from behind the fence before? And if so, how do you handle it? Do you give it back to them? Do you say nothing? What do you do?
I haven't
Or
really
would
had
you do?
too much.
Mm.
Um, I think one time someone, like, went to yell at me as I, like, kicked out from fullback or something.
Oh yeah.
and someone just, like, screamed as they kicked it, like, it wasn't even on the field, and I turned around and started laughing at them, like, it was just so weird. Like,
Yeah.
I just didn't know what to do. It was just the weirdest thing I've ever experienced, but,
Mm.
yeah, I haven't really got too much, so I wouldn't really know what to do. I feel like if someone yelled at me.
That's right. So there was nothing in the state championships then. Obviously, where there's more people there, and and everything like that. There was nothing then that you could recall at least.
Nothing from the crowd really that I remember. Not
Yeah.
really.
That's good. Um, okay. Now, where was I? All right. So, what would you say if you could have any superpowers? What superpowers would they be?
Oh, I'd love to be able to teleport, and I'd love to be able to
Hmm.
read minds. That would be
Hmm.
definitely in my top 2. I'd
Yeah.
definitely love
No,
to have, like, be able to teleport anywhere and just figure out what people are thinking.
that's right. Yeah, and you can just get out of any situation you want for teleporting, whatever the hell you want to go to. I guess.
Yeah.
And you get there quicker too. You don't have to pay for nothing.
Yeah, I don't have to pay for any of my flights or pay for any of my
No,
petrol money. Yeah, it'd be
no.
great.
You wouldn't need your car then. No more prized possession car.
Yeah.
You don't need it
Oh,
if you had a
yeah.
teleport mission. You'd lose it. You'd lose it. But
Yeah.
or you could have it as a souvenir or whatever you want to call it, I guess. All right. Now, game day superstitions, Poppy. Do you have any game day superstitions that you must do?
Um, I gotta have my hair a certain way, and then it's gotta be, like, really tight on my head. Like, I wear my hair in a bun, and it looks
Hmm.
loose, but it sorta has to be really tight. And recently, actually, I just remembered this. Have
Hmm.
you watched the Sprint documentary on Netflix?
No, I haven't. No.
Some reason, I've been watching that every time before I play, like, on the drive or on
Okay.
the flight or whatever. That's all I've been doing. I have to watch it for some reason over the last
Okay.
month or 2. That's sort of been
Has,
my superstition recently.
mm. Has it worked? Have you felt that it's worked?
Yeah, definitely over the Queensland games, I sort of felt like, for some reason, it just helped me, like, wake up a bit more before the games.
Mm. Okay, that's fair enough. Now jumper numbers. Is there any jumper number that you wear that's got any significance behind the jumper number, or is it just a jumper number?
Um, I used to play in number 2 heaps because that was
Hmm.
my, uncle's number, but
Yep.
lately, all I've been wearing is 23 because that was my dad's number, and
Mm.
I don't know, I really like the number 23, so that's been great to have.
Very nice. That's good. Now these are the hot topic food questions where I love asking everyone this, Poppy. Everyone's, especially with food, they always get so controversial over food questions. Right now, for context, I've probably asked over 150 people this, and I think only 13 people have answered them to how I would. So hopefully we can make this 14. But probably it's going
Oh,
to be tough.
hopefully.
Hopefully. Now, for context, the lowest score anyone's ever gotten is a bunch of people on 3. So no one's got under. Now, someone was very close recently, and I really should have given it to them. But this fake honours board, I didn't put them on there for having the lowest score ever. So they're lucky. But in saying that, also, only 8 people have said the illogical wrong answer for this first question because there's only one answer. You're talking about controversial. This is the only big one. Or for me, it is. Chicken palmy. Is it a palmy or is it something else?
It's a palmy.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's
Good.
not a Palmer, it's a palmy. I don't understand where Palmers come from.
I don't either. I really don't. They're just so stupid, the people that say that, to be honest, to be brutally honest. Because there's 2 things I say to the people that say the opposite, Poppy. And I say, spell it, and it's an I, right? And pronounce it. Palmy. I. Not an E, not a Y, not an A. The A one really annoys me, but it's no other combination. It's just an I, and that is simple, and it's just a fact.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
And I'm glad you do. Right. Next one. Pineapple on a pizza, yes or no?
Yes, I actually really like pineapple on pizza.
Damn it. There we go. There goes no 6 for 6. That's okay. As long as you can pass 3, that's the main thing. Right. Tomato sauce, capital. That one seems to be the one that always gets people too, by the way. So you're not alone there. Right.
Oh,
Pineapple,
okay.
tomato sauce, capital fridge.
Um, Cupboard.
Good answer. Again, I don't mind either way. So really, I give everyone a point for this one. Unless they say neither, then that'd probably be the way they get nothing. But that would be odd, wouldn't it? So 2 for 3, good start. Favorite food.
Oh, sushi.
Damn it. All right, 2 for
Oh.
4. That's a no, not
Oh.
no. No sushi person, no pineapple person. That's okay. You just need one more in the next two. Food you don't like.
Food I don't like. I don't like mango.
I
Mango or
would.
capsicum, I can't do either. I can't do either of them.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of capsicum either, so I'll give it to you. Right, 3 for 5. Okay, I don't hate it, is to say the worst thing, but it's not the greatest. So, all right, last one for that side of things. Okay, oh yeah, favorite takeaway or restaurant?
Oh, I don't know. I like grilled. I like their burgers. They're pretty good.
Oh yeah. To get a point, what would you say is your go-to order there?
Um, usually Caesar's Palace is what I get, and sweet potato fries.
Not bad. All right, so 4 out of 6. See, what did you worry for? Yeah, you
That's
passed
good. I'm
the
glad I didn't
lowest.
get 3.
No, you didn't get. Well, there's a bunch of people on that, but yes, that's it. That's like the biggest aim of the whole chat here is to
Yeah.
not get under 3. So it's going to be harsh for whoever gets it. They're going to get their
Yeah.
name on a
Yeah.
fake honors board. Might have to write it on a wall and get. Yeah, but anyway. All right. So okay. So you were talking about earlier about advice and everything that your mum's given you with footy and stuff. So what would you say has been some of your biggest challenges in footy so far, and how have you overcome it?
I feel like my confidence is definitely one of being my biggest challenge lately.
Hmm.
Oh, a few years ago, I lost a lot of confidence. I don't really
Hmm.
remember why, but I just
Yeah.
remember I came into games like really stressed and I couldn't perform. So, um, my sort of advice was that sort of been with my mum just to forget about all the pressure I was putting myself on. And, I had
Hmm.
a lot of coaches help me out and just they would talk to me before the game, like just give me specific things to focus on. Like Shannon used to do it a lot just to like have me set 2 or 3 personal just little goals besides like
Yeah.
what obviously team goals was. That sort of
Yeah.
helped a lot to manage, put my focus somewhere else rather than just stressing about the big picture when that didn't necessarily have to
Mm.
matter. That's sort of what I've been had to do for a while.
Mm. It's good to see. So your mum's got some good advice for you, that's for sure. All right. Favorite app on your phone?
Um, Duolingo.
What is that? I haven't heard that. I may have heard of it. I don't
It's
know what it is.
the language app. They teach you,
Ah.
and you pick a language and you just learn it. Yeah, I'm on
Oh.
like 190 days or something streak. Like, yeah, I'm actually kind of obsessed with it. Like, but
Mm.
low key, I'm kind of scared of it at the same time because it yells at me if I
Mhm.
don't do it. Like, if I'm getting close to losing my streak, it'll yell at me. So it's kind of scary, but
Oh.
I love the app.
I get you. So it says like a reminder, but a voice one, not even just a generic texting. It literally speaks to you when it does it, does it?
Oh, sometimes it'll speak to me. Like if I'm in the app and I don't do a lesson,
Oh.
it'll speak to me, but it just pops
Mm.
up with constant reminders, and the icon's like a little owl, and
Yeah.
it's an icon, like, it'll just come up with being, like, reminding me, like,
Mm.
do your lesson," and it's like, "Oh."
Well, that's a good amount of day streak, 190 days. That's pretty
Yeah, it's pretty
impressive. It is good. Did you play any other sports outside of footy? Not so much, or either now or previously?
I used to play netball a lot
Mhm.
until I just didn't like that sport anymore.
Mhm.
And then I was surf life saving. I did that for a long time. And
Yeah.
recently I've been playing rugby for the school, like
Oh
my
yeah.
school. I've been playing rugby and a few
Yeah.
of those teams, so that's been really interesting to play.
That's good. Now, how do you feel you are with jumper numbers? How well do you know your Brisbane Lion girls or your Hawks men's players, Poppy? How do you feel you're no, how are you with the quizzes? Are you a nuffy or not a nuffy? That's what apparently people call people that are smart.
Um, I used to be a lot better than I am now. I feel like Lions I could be alright at if I can remember it from however long ago. Queensland, I probably could get a few.
Hmm. Or
Hawthorn I used to be
Hawthorn.
really good at, but recently a lot of people have left and changed numbers, so I probably wouldn't be too good at it anymore.
No, that's fair enough. Well, I'm going to test you here. I'm just going to throw a random amount of jumper number questions or names associated with numbers, and then we'll see how you go. Let's just say some of these I would say you'd want to hope you get, because I'm sure if you see them, they may say something. All right. What jumper number does Belle Dawes wear?
17. I know that one. I have her number for
Good.
Queensland.
Yes, you do. Very true. All right. Knack Ryder.
Oh, isn't she? Oh, she's a low number. It's like
Yes.
12 or 15, something like that.
No.
No, 10.
No.
I don't know.
Yes.
Like
Nat,
yeah,
it is 10. Sorry, I
yeah,
read it
she's
wrong.
10. Okay, I was
Yeah.
close. I know. I knew it was like a low number. I just wasn't quite sure. I had a feeling it was 10, but I said 12.
That's fair. You got it the second time. Better late than never, they say. Jai Newcomb.
Oh, he's number 3.
Perfect. See, you did know. You did know. There's no point me asking you this one because you just answered it for yourself. But I was going to say, what was your own jumper number in the state side?
17.
There we go. Good. And the last one, what number does Shannon Campbell wear?
20.
Perfect. See, you know your own people. So that's again, yeah. Just pass the test with flying colour. That's right. Now I got a few more for you, so I do really appreciate you coming. Not that, a few other questions for you, so do appreciate you coming on. All right. What would you say with defenders? I mean, yes, I'm sure I know the answer, but I'm going to try anyway. I feel like they deserve a bit more love and attention, defenders, probably, than what they get at a public level, in particular at AFL and AFLW level. Obviously, the mid's got the Brownlow. Rucks get recognised in Brownlow votes, and the forwards at the Coleman. Do the defenders deserve their own official title of an award, in particular those levels as well?
Yeah, I definitely think the backs are very underrated in every level. Like the backs win the premierships. Like without us, what are you going to do? Like we stop the goals and keep us, trying to stay in front. But yeah, I feel like the backs are very underrated, and I think there should be some sort of award for most desperate back person or something like that.
It's something. It's something. I mean, even if it's like a golden fist, I would lay Danny Frawley that on Bounce on the Fox show. There's something like that. And well, really, they could even have their own form of a Brownlow, I suppose. Not something I just thought of then. Maybe some form of where it's only defender votes only, or it could be like for the best of the round or something, where whoever picks, say, the 5 best defenders, and you add that up, at the end of the year. Maybe that's another thing they could do, like what they do with coaches' votes, but they could try that way. I suppose it's just something I thought of then. But anyway, all right.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in charge of the AFLW, Poppy, or the state championships, competitions, etc., if you're the CEO for a day, what rules are you adding and or removing?
Oh, I would remove the last touch
Yes.
lasso rule. I don't like that rule, especially when it's like pretty close and it's like, what was that for? And I'd change the density rule, and because I hate that rule. I swear it's the most annoying thing. Like it's the worst rule to keep track of.
No, I agree with you. I hate seeing both of them. Yesterday I attended both the state championship games where WA played the 2 Vic sides and SA, and I kept hearing, even from I'm not going to say who, but people involved in those teams, when they were talking about that rule, yelling at someone to get back in the spot that you need to be in. And I just watched that in person. I've always heard people say, but to physically see it, I think it's so crap. I can willingly say that. I think it's rubbish. And the last touch, I've never been a fan of that either. And another one, I don't know what you feel about this. I feel like the time should, this is even in the state championships, the time should stop. So I feel like, the time just keeps going, doesn't stop at all, right? Where you can invite people to cheat and kill time. I know it's in the rules, but I don't like, how do you feel with like time wasting and stuff like that? Should the time stop just like it does in the men's AFL season and the AFLW season as well?
Yeah, I feel like we should play time on. So, once goals are kicked, instead of, people just trying to slow it down and take forever to get the ball back, I feel like we should definitely stop. Like, even if they change it to 18-minute quarters instead of 20, if they want to do time on. But definitely, I feel like, it's just annoying, watching it happen, especially like when there's injuries and things and people just
Yes.
I just was standing there waiting for ages, and then it just gives everyone time to set up, and it just
Yeah,
changes the
that
flow of the
too.
game. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah. I don't like it. There was a prime example that I remember in one of the Waffle W games at the start of the year. There was a team that was 2 points down. There was a minute and a half to go. They had the ball in their 50, about 60 out or so. They had the momentum. A player was injured. They were just laying
mm,
on the ground for a minute and a half. The siren went and they magically popped up. So then they couldn't win. The other teams had to kick from 60 odd out. And I'm thinking that was the moment that solidified it for me to go, nah, this is shit. How could you lose like that? Whether they were pretending or not, it's irrelevant. Like you said, if they're injured, just stop it. You know,
yeah,
it doesn't.
yeah, especially with that sort of thing. Like it just ruins the game. Like
Hmm.
even if they did kick a goal and there was still a minute left, like there's still an opportunity to
Hmm.
win. Like
That's right.
it's just
Yeah.
annoying. Like especially if they're pretending. That's just it's not
Hmm.
worth it. Just get rid of the rule.
No, that's right. And that's what. Now, the last one I got for you, so I do appreciate coming on. Obviously, being in your draft year, obviously, you got all these scenarios in your head that you would love to happen. What is your dream scenario, Poppy, for you from right now until the end of the year?
Um, Definitely to get invited to the combine and to
Hmm.
get drafted to Brisbane would be the like obviously ideal, or even Gold
Hmm.
Coast, but just to get invited somewhere that would
Yeah,
definitely is the dream.
that's right. Poppy, it's been a pleasure having you on, and you've put your foot on the right note so far. But playing the championships, doing pretty well, and being in a very successful side. All the best for the draft end of the year and everything else in between. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
No worries, anytime.